The announcement comes suddenly. Ali Khamenei is dead, and Iran is in shock. Not just him, but multiple top Iranian generals and senior officials were eliminated in the same strike. The backbone of Iran's command structure has been shattered from the very top down. With the chain of command broken, the vice president is now rumored to be stepping in. Even though the highest leadership has fallen, one major force remains. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has not surrendered. And now, they are reportedly trying to fast-track a new supreme leader without going through the legal constitutional process. It looks less like succession and more like a power grab from within. But inside Iran, something unexpected is happening. Ordinary people are flooding the streets. Massive crowds are celebrating, honking car horns, cheering the fall of the regime. They are dancing, clapping, embracing, as if a decades-long wait has finally been lifted. For many of them, this moment has been years in the making. President Donald Trump releases an official statement confirming Khamenei's death. He calls it justice, not only for Iranians, but for Americans and victims around the world. He reveals that the strike was coordinated closely with Israel, using highly sophisticated intelligence and surveillance. Trump frames this as a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the Iranian people to reclaim their country. And he warns clearly, those who surrender may be spared, those who resist will face death. Beyond Khamenei's death, Israel confirms that 7 additional senior Iranian military leaders were eliminated. These were not mid-level figures, they were the highest-ranking commanders in security and defense. Israel declares that the entire Iranian chain of command has been dismantled in a single wave of strikes. All 7 were killed in what officials describe as a devastating and highly precise air assault. And then comes another unsettling question. Where is Iran's president? Iran's vice president, Mohammad Reza Aref, is now quietly assuming control during wartime. State media avoids confirming whether the president is capable of performing his duties. Security forces reportedly blocked access to his office on Saturday morning. That leaves only 3 possibilities. He is dead, he fled, or something else is unfolding behind closed doors. Reuters confirms that Iran's command structure has effectively collapsed. The Revolutionary Guard once answered directly to the supreme leader, but now both are gone. Even the Quds force, already weakened after previous losses, is described as crippled. From the supreme leader down through the IRGC and its elite units, the hierarchy appears broken, which raises a dangerous question inside Iran. Who leaked the intelligence that made this possible? Because strikes this precise don't happen without someone on the inside. Now the focus shifts to something even more alarming. Who will replace the supreme leader? The Revolutionary Guard is reportedly trying to install one of their own. According to intelligence warnings, this would bypass the entire constitutional process. Under Iran's system, selecting a supreme leader requires consultation, legal review, and formal approval. But the IRGC does not want to wait for procedure. They want someone seated within hours. No debate, no oversight, no transparency. Essentially, a figurehead at the top while real power stays in military hands. The CIA has warned for years that this scenario was possible. And now, Tehran may be hours away from deciding Iran's political future. Intelligence sources say there are 2 major risks unfolding at once. First, the creation of a puppet supreme leader controlled entirely by the Guard. Second, the deliberate prolonging of the war to trap the United States in a drawn-out conflict. Washington fears a quagmire more than anything, a war that drags on without clear resolution. Reports suggest emergency plans could transfer crisis authority to Ali Larijani. That would give him control over security, military operations, and foreign policy during wartime. Tehran appears to be betting that the longer the conflict lasts, the more pressure Washington will face to end it quickly. In this moment, time itself may be Iran's most powerful weapon. The next question is unavoidable. How did the United States and Israel eliminate nearly the entire top leadership in one strike? The answer appears to have 2 parts, an insider leak and perfect timing. Analysts suggest someone at the highest level fed critical intelligence outward. One familiar name surfaces, a senior intelligence figure who replaced Qasem Soleimani. Reports indicate he attended a high-level meeting with Khamenei that very morning, and then, just before the strike hit, he reportedly left the compound unharmed. Everyone else inside was killed. If true, that timing raises disturbing implications about foreknowledge. The second factor was pure surprise. In the White House Situation Room, President Trump and top officials coordinated the operation. The strike was launched at dawn on a religious holiday, catching leadership completely off guard. Israel reportedly dropped 30 heavy bombs on the main compound alone. The United States followed immediately with waves of precision strikes on military targets. In just 12 hours, American forces executed nearly 900 strikes. The tempo was relentless, target after target, based on real-time intelligence. Officials described it as a rare target of opportunity, when the entire leadership was gathered in one place. With enough firepower concentrated at once, the command center was obliterated. But eliminating leaders is only the first step. The real battle is what comes next. Now attention turns to the opposition and to Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi. He announces a 6-month emergency transition plan in case the Islamic Republic collapses. In a public statement, he unveils an updated roadmap called the Iran Prosperity Project. He describes it as part of a 5-step strategy to reclaim and rebuild the nation. This is not just rhetoric, he says, but a structured action plan for democratic transition. The first 6 months are framed as decisive for Iran's survival and stability. The document outlines urgent national needs and potential crises during the power transfer. It proposes concrete solutions to stabilize institutions and restore public order. Pahlavi emphasizes transparency and public participation in shaping the transition. He promises readiness to assume responsibility once the current regime is removed. The focus would be restoring security, rebuilding state institutions, and guiding the country toward democracy. He frames this not as a simple regime change, but as a total restructuring of governance. Administrative systems, legal frameworks, and economic foundations would all be rebuilt. But one obstacle remains. The Revolutionary Guard must be neutralized completely. Even weakened, any remaining armed forces could block a democratic transition. For now, the outcome remains uncertain. The story is far from over.